Did you know that there is a right and a wrong way to put an infant to sleep? We're going to talk about that in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to share with you all of the safe sleep habits that are really easy and things that everybody can do to make sure that an infant is put to sleep correctly. We will talk about the statistics of children dying from not being put to sleep correctly. We'll talk about the tips and trainings for caregivers, and we'll also talk about eliminating the hazards in the home or the daycare where the child will be. First of all, I'd like to define caregivers. A caregiver is anyone taking care of a child, an infant, a parent, a grandparent, a family member, a daycare facility. Anyone that is taking care of an infant is defined as a caregiver. Okay, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, over 3,500 deaths a year happen with infants from putting them to bed not correctly. So in that amount, so we're going to talk about the percentages of how people put their child to bed. 39% of people put the baby to bed on a soft area and not a crib, a solid crib. That's 2 in 5 people. 22% of people put the baby to bed on the side or on their stomach and not their back. That's 1 in 5. 61% of people share their bed with the infant, and we'll talk about why that's so dangerous. And then almost half of the caregivers out there aren't getting the correct information when having a baby, or maybe from their doctor or wherever they're getting their information. They're not getting the correct information on how to put an infant to sleep. Okay, so we're going to talk about eliminating hazards in the home. A baby is always put to bed on their back until the age of 1. They are free of choking hazards that way, and a caregiver training. There are caregiver trainings out there, and all you have to do is Google on the internet safe sleep for infants, and there's all kinds of training that is free, and it doesn't take that long to go through it. I know that working in a daycare facility, you have to have that as a 2-hour training online, and you do have to have it to even work with infants. So, and it's free. Another thing about eliminating hazards, check on your baby. Don't just put your baby to bed and think, oh, they're good for 3 hours. Check on the baby or have a monitor. Make sure that you're looking in on them, because babies do move. So additionally, the following tips and trainings are taken from the American Academy of Pediatricians. These are just basic things that you can do on a daily basis. Use a firm sleep surface. Keep soft bedding out of the crib. All the bumpers that are so cute and that everybody wants to get, they're actually really not that safe. A baby can roll over on them and suffocate himself. So no bumpers. Sharing your room with your child, but please don't share your bed. If you put a child in your bed, there is a bigger chance of the child suffocating by rolling into you, or you rolling onto the child, overheating. The child can overheat easily. The baby can roll off the bed, and it's just not safe. So they suggest to put a bassinet right next to your bed, or they have the attachments that attach onto the side of the bed. The baby can sleep in, and then you can be in your bed. Always place your baby on their back during nap times and for bedtimes. They're not able to untangle themselves if they get tangled up in any kind of blanket or a toy or anything like that. So if you're afraid your baby's going to be cold, then use a sleep sack. They have sleep sacks and they're closed at the bottom. You put their arms through it and it zips up, and they can sleep in that, and it gives them more warmth. So pacifiers can be used in a crib. I would not suggest having that attached with a string or anything to their sleep sack, but they can set pacifiers are thought of. A lot of people believe that they reduce sits, so you can do that. Sleeping in car seats or anything that is a bucket seat, like a swing or a bouncer, that's a huge no-no, because they can get down into the bucket seat and their heads will fall forward and they could suffocate themselves. So that's a huge no-no. In daycares, we're not allowed to allow them to, if they fall asleep in a swing or anything, the minute they fall asleep, we move them to their crib, which is a flat surface. So, okay. So the American Academy of Pediatrics has an ABC. A stands for alone, B stands for put the baby to bed on their back, and C stands for crib. So, ABC, let's remember that. Alone, back, and crib. Okay, so if we eliminate the hazards that could cause SIDS, and we train all of our caregivers, including parents, and we are alert around our children, there is no way that the death number can't go down. And that's what we need. We need the death numbers to go down so that our babies can live and have a full life. Thank you.